Hello. How is everyone? I'm just going to see if I'm in the right place here on Facebook. Let's see. All right, sweet. I am. All right. So happy Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday again already. It was a beautiful day in Minnesota today. It's in the 70s, and I was like so excited. For those of you that know, my husband Jimmy's in assisted living, and we got to hang out outside today. It was so fun. They had music and karaoke going, and they were dancing, and it was it was just awesome. Of course, Jimmy was sleeping because that's what he always does when there's a party. I tell ya. Anyway, tonight I'm going to share with you the beautiful new in colors. They are so nummy, you guys. I love it. And I'm going to make a card with you. I did make one of them for each in color, and then we're going to make one in another new color that is coming into the new catalog as well. So I'm going to go down to my desktop and I'll show you some of these gorgeous new colors. Here we go. All right, so look at these. Oh my gosh, these are beautiful. This is Shy Shamrock, and it's a kind of a nice green. This is Pretty in Pink, and you might remember that from before. We had this before, this color. So they brought it back, so they do that sometimes. So that's Pretty in Pink. We have Petunia Pop. Love this color. I think this is going to be one of everybody's favorites. It's so pretty. We have Pecan, or no, I'm sorry, it's Peach Pie. So we've got a pumpkin pie, a peach pie, and what's the other one we just had? Pecan pie. Yeah. Nice. And then we have Summer Splash. So they're gorgeous, gorgeous colors. So we have each color has a set of blends, and so with blends you get a light and a dark shade of the same color, so super fun. And then here are the beautiful cardstocks sheets. Aren't they just vibrant? It's just so refreshing. I love these colors. They're just beautiful together. And the ribbon is awesome. It's got like a edging design, and it's real flexible, and it's I'm not sure if it's a 1/4 inch. Kind of looks like a 1/4 inch, maybe it's slightly bigger, but it's really easy to work with. I love that. It's soft. So that comes in each color as well. And then of course you've got your Stampin' Rite markers. So some of the products that you can, the embellishments you can have so far that we've been able to order. There are some, this is resin dots, so there's more of a solid color. And then you have more of a shimmer gem, and so you get those in each color as well. Super sparkly. Love it, love it, love it. All right, and then this is the paper pack that's going to be for every color. that's in the catalog, and this is the 24-26 in color pack. So I just thought I would show that to you really quickly. Love the designs. They're so pretty. And I love it because you can use them for just so many background cards. You know, they go with quite a bit. Seems like it's so dark. I don't know why my lights are all on, but I can't really see the designs too well. But it's the same design, but in each color. But they're really nice designs. You can use these really easily in any card. Right. Ooh, look how nummy that is. Oh, nummy, num, num. Aren't they gorgeous though? Sometimes in some lights, I kind of have a little hard time distinguishing between the Shy Shamrock and the, what's this color? I don't know them yet. Summer Splash. When you have them side by side, you can see pretty easily, but sometimes when they're by themselves or in a different light, it looks a little harder to recognize which one's which. So I just wanted to show you some of those. So tonight I'm going to show you some techniques, and I'm going to use the Magnolia Mood stamp set and the Magnolia Mood dies. I love magnolias. We've had a set in the past with magnolias, and I just loved it. It was nummy. These are the two dies that I'm going to use tonight, and so we're going to use that in a fun way, and then yeah, I'll show you the cards I made in the in colors. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do that first. So here is the first one, and this is in the Shy Shamrock. And it's a monochromatic look. There is Wink Stella in there on the die cut. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I left it blank on the inside because I'm not quite sure how I will use them yet. And then it's just a soft color on color of the sentiment. And I did that on purpose. Here it is in the Poppy Parade. So pretty, right? Here it is in Pretty in Pink. I got a little piece of glue on there. Here it is in, oh, let's see, what's that color? Peach Pie. Or no, yeah, Peach Pie. Beautiful, right? And here it is in Splash. Summer Splash. All right, so they all look a little different, and that's because you're going to use Brayers, and you're going to use your blocks to color your flowers. This was all done on basic white cardstock, right? So you're going to have different effects for each die. They're all going to look a little different. All right, so I thought what I would do is I'm going to also introduce to you a new color that's coming up in the new catalog, and that is Basic Beige. And so this is that color, and it's not going to have blends, but you know, you'll have your ribbon and your cardstock, and I would assume the markers. So I thought I would do the same card in the Basic Beige. And so what you'll need for that is your regular 5.5 by 4 1/4 card base. Okay, and then I cut three pieces of 5 1/4 by 4. And one's going to be for the inside of the card, one's going to be for the dies, and the other one is going to be the front of the card. Okay, so how we do that is I'm going to, and I have not done this yet in this color, so I really don't know how this is going to look. So here we got our ink pad, and I'm going to bring in some paper just so that I can stamp off on that. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my ink or my block, my stamping block, and I'm going to tap it into the ink pad. Get it nice and inked up. There's my dog again. And then this is filled with water and some Stella. And so I'm going to just spray that on here just so that the color kind of moves around a little bit. And I'm going to work on the paper to just ink it up. Spritz it with some water, move it around. And the reason I chose a smaller block instead of just doing this with a large block is I wanted that depth and that contrast of having different layers of color. And so by using a smaller area, I can build on top, and you can see just different colors forming, right? Different layers. Okay. I thought this card would be good for like a wedding, a birthday, just all kinds of things. All right, and so I want to make sure I do this enough times so that I can cover my die. And both dies will have actual ink, you know, on them. A little bit of white space is cool, right? It gives it some interest. And you can see my Stella is being sprayed with the water. Might not be coming through on the camera very well, but it's definitely shimmering on the paper. Whoops. All right, one more time, I think. I'm going to move that around a bit. All right. So this is kind of wet, obviously. So I don't know if you can see that, but it does have Stella glimmering in there. So I'm going to take my die and I'm going to place it on here and just see if there's color everywhere where the die is going to be. And since I'm going to have use two different dies, I'm going to actually, you know, do them at the same time. So I think that looks good. I'm going to move this down a little bit. Move that up. All right, looks pretty good, I think. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'll go get my die cut machine, and I'll put that through. Oops. So it's kind of fun. This is always going to be different. Your dies are never going to look the same. So you never know kind of what it's going to look like, right? Until you run it through. There we go. And this is going to be a little wet, so it's going to take a little time. You can, let it dry, before you start assembling it and putting it together in your card, but it worked out okay for me to do it, right away. So I'm going to take and pick this out. Now, when you use detailed dies, you definitely can use different techniques. You can run wax paper over the die. Whoops. Like this before you actually use it, and then that will lubricate the die so that your paper will release easier. On detailed dies like this, you could also use our adhesive sheets, and that's a two-backed. It's adhesive sheet that's got two backings on it. You would just take off one side, attach that to your card stock, and put your die on top of that, and then run it through, and then you will have adhesive on this side of your die. So you could do that. You can also take, and to release your dies, you can use brushes. Take Your Pick tool has a brush that you can attachment that you can use, and you would just roll over this and it would pop out very easily. So there's just different ways you can use different tools to make it a little easier if it's something that's hard. If you were doing a whole bunch of these, I would definitely think about using some of those tools. But because this is kind of wet, because I did use it, I did use water on this, right? So I didn't want to have to deal with other materials. So this is not hard. I'm just cleaning out my die. It's kind of relaxing. I kind of like it. All right, so that is that die. And where is, oh, there's my other one, it just fell out. All right, so let's take this stuff out of the way. All right, so here's my leaves, and I'm just going to take out some of the pieces here that are still in my die. And you just got to be careful you don't move too quickly, because you might rip this, because the paper is compromised a little bit 1, you've used water. 2, you've run a dye through it. It's kind of broken up some of the fibers. Yeah, so you just gotta work slow. Another thing you could do, like I said, is wait until this all dries a little bit more to keep working with this, you know, but like I said, it's not too bad. The paper is not soaked. It's just a little damp. So I'm just taking out all the pieces that can come out. That gives it that nice look. I've done cards before where I've had a die like this, and for contrast, I would cut 2 of them in 2 different, colors, papers, whatever, and then I would insert the other sheet, their pieces, in it so that it would be 2-tone. Yeah, you don't want to do a lot of that, but it's fun. It was beautiful. All right, so there we have our die, and it does have Winkostella in it. I think that turned out really cool. I think it looks very formal looking in the beige. This would be a very cool, like, wedding card. So let's get these little scraps out of here. All right, so on to our next part. All right, I'm going to bring back the scrap paper again. And so I'm going to take my second piece of paper here, and I'm going to take my brayer, and I love a brayer. You can do so much with it. Stampin' Up! Just brought their brayer back, which is awesome. I've missed it. So what I'm going to do is take my brayer, I'm going to take my ink pad, and I'm going to go across this way, because I want the widest, I want the ink to go to the whole width of the brayer, not this way, because it would be a little shorter. So I'm going to do that. And I have not used this color, so I'm not quite sure what I was doing with all the other cards as I was rolling softly a little bit of the ink off so that my card wasn't, oops, this isn't on camera, so that my colors weren't too dark. So we'll see what happens here. And I think we'll do a little more. Okay. Leaving a little edge, a little white space in there. All right, and so then I'm going to take my stamp sentiment, and I'm going to do that. And of course I want that full force, because I want them to be able to see the sentiment. I don't want it to be like a bold sentiment that's just, blaring. I like the look of this being a softer look. And of course I rolled it, so I've got ink on the outside. All right, so I'm just going to put this about here. All right, so see that? It's just a soft sentiment. I like that look. It's kind of reminds me of shadow stamping that we did back in the 80s, I think. All right, so let's put this together. Super simple. I lost my adhesive. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. All right. How's everybody's week going? Wow. Fun, fun, fun. I'm so happy. I get so excited about weekends, and I'm retired, but I still am like excited. It's like, woohoo! Not that I really have a great busy life and all that. Well, I guess I am busy, but you know what I mean. I got nothing too exciting going on. All right, and here's another trick. So when you have a detailed die, there's lots of different ways that you can, you know, ink, or, you know, put adhesive on the back of a die, right? So like I said, you could use the adhesive sheets, which this would turn into basically a sticker. You could also just take and use your liquid glue and just put very random little amounts around. Another thing you can do is just make a little squiggle of some glue on your adhesive mat, and then take your die and you're just going to put it in the glue, because it won't this glue will not become permanently stuck on the silicone, right? Because it'll just reject it, so it'll just roll off, which is awesome. All right, so now I have some glue on here, but it's not going to be oozing out or anything, and it's going to stick very nicely. So that's a trick, a fun trick that you can use. Now on this this other die, I have a larger space. I have a lot of space behind it that I can glue, right? And so one thing I like about using the fact that these dies were wet, they have their own like shape. So they've kind of curled in different places, and oh, I found a spot that I didn't get out. There we go. So they have their own little shape. This is not flat or anything, so it's pretty cool. So when it gets adhered to some cardstock, it's gonna still have its own look. You know, it's gonna flow a different way. You know, it's not gonna be just plastered to the paper. So that's gonna also give it a fun look. Here's my glue. So let's put this on. I'm gonna stick this here. All right. And then I'm going to just glue the back of this, and I'm just going to be very light on it, and because I don't want it oozing obviously out. And I thought about popping up this die, but it's such a delicate die that I didn't really want it to get ripped and stuff, you know, because if it curled up a lot or got caught on something, it would basically ruin the card. So I'm keeping it low profile. So I'm just looking for the fattest places I can put little dots of glue, and primarily using these big spots to tack it down. All right, that looks pretty good. And the thing you want to make sure you do is you don't move it around too much, you know, trying to find the right place for it, because then your glue that you do have is going to smear around. So you don't want to, you kind of want to put it down where you are going to actually try to, you know, keep it. You can take and, you know, put a block on it just to kind of let it sit for a minute to keep that down. And so there we have it. Now the only thing we have to do is put some embellishments on there. And oh, so look how fun this is. It's just like, here's all this glue, right, that I've been using, and I can just roll it all off, and it all just comes right off, and I'm good to go again. So awesome way to use your silicone mat. Just saying. All right, so we have some choices. So since I don't have any embellishments to totally match this like I did with the other cards, I just have to decide what embellishments I want to use. So I could do just the rhinestone. A lot of times with rhinestones, if this had a blend that matched it, I could take and use the blend and color my adhesive rhinestones to match. Okay, but there is not one, so I could do just some of the rhinestones. I could use, these are ombre matte dots, and I was thinking, can't get it out. I was thinking if the lighter shades of this, and that would actually work really well, because it looks like there's a lot of green in this beige. But anyway, that's an option. I was just kind of wondering if one of these would work. I don't think so, other than maybe the, yeah, I don't know, that's an option. And then we have our matte, classic matte dots, which, you know, this could actually work well too. And then I have these, which would add that little sparkle. So I don't know, maybe we'll try those. Add a little different color in there, even though I'm trying to stay with the monochromatic look. All right, so I'm going to use one larger. Oops. Put one of those there. And I'm going to do a smaller one. Down there, and we'll do another. Nice. And that is that one. So let me bring in all 6 cards, and let's see how beautiful this card can be, right? It's not hard to do. It's got a great look. I think it's really pretty. Let me see. Move these up a little bit so you can all see them. So what do you think? I think that they are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cards. And they all look different, so that's what I think is very cool. And the dies all look different too. Very fun. And when you see these next to each other, you can definitely tell the difference between the two colors. But yeah, sometimes it's hard for me. And then this is the one we just made. And that's out of the basic beige, and that's going to be a new color as well. All right, so I'm going to go back up to my desktop. So that was fun. I hope that inspires you to you know, try some different techniques, and I hope you love the new in colors as much as I do. They're gorgeous. Don't forget that right now is the last chance sale going on. Some of those items are up to 60% off. And they, you know, there's as until supplies last. And when you look at the list, if you look at the list at all, there's a key, and there's some asterisks. If it's 3 asterisks, it's not, the products are not going to retire. They're just not going to be as a bundle anymore. So you won't get the stamp set and the dies together for 10% off. Or if it's a stamp and a punch bundle, you won't get 10% off. So just something to know, that if you look at your catalog and you see that there's some bundles that maybe you would like because they're going to be not retiring, you know, get them now. You can get them at 10% off. Or if they are going to retire and you were thinking on the fence about it, you do want them, get them before you can't. We have 2 catalogs that are ending at the end of April, so don't miss out. If you don't have a demonstrator, and if you'd like to go online and do shopping, you can shop with me at terryphelps.stampinup.net. And this Magnolia mood die set and stamp set was an online exclusive, so don't forget to look at those, because there's a lot of nice fun new things in there too. So I hope you have a great week. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Take care.